Episode 5 of Lawmen, Bass Reeves starts out in a action sequence way. We see Bass and Billy Crow going after outlaws in the beginning, and there's a big shootout scene that lasts about 10 to 15 minutes. They get their man, but then Billy Crow and both Bass are injured, and they take the outlaws or the fugitives that they had in the previous episodes that they gathered, and then they captured in this one as well. They take them back to the courthouse, and then you see Bass walk into Judge Isaac Parker kind of sentencing a man, but he sentences this man to prison and not to death, and the person that he sends to prison is a white man. So it goes to show that he's sentencing the juveniles and the black people to hang to death. It's really, really interesting how that story it goes and how that's balanced. And as Bass is getting paid, he kind of, in a way, I want to say, like, gets his money and then he leaves. But then he's also put on another case or another thing. So he hasn't been home in 41 days. He goes home and doesn't tell his wife anything. And then the next morning, Billy Crow shows up and he was supposed to take his daughter to the carnival that's in town. And the wife is really, really not happy about that at all. So Bass and his wife kind of, Jenny kind of have a tit for tat. And it's a really interesting, well done written sequence. And then kind of Bass leaves, goes out, finds the guy that they're looking for. And for what he did, we don't get that story yet. And then kind of Jenny, Bass's wife, tells Sally, the daughter, to, hey, if you're not gonna go, if you want to go to the carnival, but go with that gentleman you like. So they go to the carnival. They're having fun. They're having a good time, and as Sally is in line with the gentleman that she's with, the boy that she likes, a little girl comes in front of them, a white girl. I have to be specific in certain scenes here because the tension's really interesting about how this show progresses certain aspects of things. And the little girl just cuts in front of her, nothing. And, Sally's like, excuse me, you cut in front of me. You need to go to the back of the line. A little girl, like maybe 6 years old, white girl turns around and is like, no, you need to be in the back of the line. That's who you folks are. I was like, excuse me? Hold on. Girl, I would have backhand the hell out of you. So then the older brother comes and then takes her away, and Sally, and they just go on about their day. And not only that, we see that Jenny's older friend or a friend, best friend, comes in, meets her, talks about, black people being taken in the night. Nobody knows what's going on with them. And a storm rolls in, and we see that Bass, Billy Crow, and this outlaw are hunkered down in kind of a little. They find light and they go to a cottage, and they see that it's with Spanish people there. They go in and then they're eating, and Billy Crow's very observant. It's like they do some like magic or herbal stuff, and they're serving them something to drink, and Billy Crow smells it, but Bass took a drink of it and he's like, no, don't drink it. So Bass kind of goes hallucinating, does certain things, and then goes outside because he hears things and wolves, and then the fugitive follows him out there for a smoke, and then the fugitive kind of, or the outlaw, opens up to Bass to says why he did what he did and why he was arrested and why he was on the run. And Sally has an interesting scene in this, the daughter, because she's confronted by the white brother from the little girl that cut in front of her in her line. And it's really interesting. They kind of go fight, and Sally just nails him with a right hook, and it's just like, oh shit. The guy, the boy that she likes, kind of gets beat up for it. And then we see Jenny, her mother, and the friend come out taken, and they don't say anything to them. And then it's the next day. Bass kind of, takes the fugitive and Billy Crow. They go out, and then they come upon this little encampment in a way, and they see Esau Pierce, played by Barry Pepper, kind of the leader of the first Cherokee Mounted Rifles, there sitting by the fire. And it's like, oh, their paths have crossed again. The last time Bass and Pierce kind of met was when Pierce shot that young boy, and it was a few years later, and it just goes by. And then like that's the end of the episode. And it's like, wow, this is a very interesting episode. It's about 43 to 45 minutes long. In your face, really simple, really, really gets the point across for story. And with this 5th episode review, there's only 3 episodes left of this series. And it's executive produced by Taylor Sheridan, as I keep mentioning, but it's created by Chad Feehan. So if you think it's created by Taylor Sheridan, it is not. I love David Oyelowo as an actor. He's very, very good, very, very underrated. Loved him ever since seeing him in Selma, where he played Martin Luther King Jr. I believe that he should have won an award for that portrayal of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And just seeing him as Bass Reeves is really, really good. The acting is great. The cast is great. Anytime David Oyelowo is on screen as Bass Reeves, you are glued to the screen. Anytime it's taken away and we focus on the wife Jenny, the daughter Sally, and other aspects of different characters, it's here nor there. But when David Oyelowo is on the small screen as Bass Reeves, it really, really drives a chord. The action is great, real quick shootouts. It's a nice western, nice callback, but you do get the history of what's going on in those times in the 1800s, after the Civil War, after the Emancipation Proclamation, and it just goes to show that, I mean, history has, not changed at all. This was a good episode. I really, really liked it. I'm curious to see how it moves forward and how it progresses in the next few episodes. So let me know in the comment section below what you thought about episode 5 of Lawmen, Bass Reeves. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What did you think of it? What do you think about the aspect of the story, the action, the drama? What do you think is going to happen? And do you like that this season is 8 episodes, or do you think there should be more? And do you think that this will get picked up for a second season? Let me know in the comment section below about all the questions I just asked. And be sure you click that subscribe button and hit that notification bell for new review videos on my channel. I will see you all in the next review video. And be sure you tune in next week for my episode 6 review of Lawmen, Bass Reeves.